Let's get started. Yesterday we have seen VPC connectivity and the sample deployment of an EC2 server inside our VPC and inside our subnet, right? So continuation. Let me open this one. Yeah. And today we'll learn about the public subnet, private subnet. Public subnet and private subnet. So these two are inside the VPC one. Okay. Inside the virtual private cloud. What does mean by public subnet and what does mean by private subnet? Why these two terminologies we are using right now in the market, especially at the cloud architecture. Inside the VPC, it is an isolated environment. Inside the VPC, we are creating one logical space again. So those are nothing but subnets. Those are nothing but subnets like this. So we can create a number of subnets according to the IP addresses that you want to use. Okay. According to your application, workload, services, whatever you want to run. So you can create a set of IP addresses, logical environment, logical boundary. That is nothing but the subnet. So why I'm specifically calling this public subnet and private subnet? Let's understand that. Let's say this is a public subnet. I'm just drawing a line and I'm calling it as pub subnet. Okay. And this is private subnet. Okay. So here, whenever you are calling public subnet, that means the servers which you are keeping inside this logical boundary are having public IP, and these servers can be exposed to the internet, okay, outside network. So that's why we are calling these servers as a web servers. The server which is having a public IP address and whatever the workload or a service or application, anything that is running inside this server, and if you are keeping that into a one logical boundary, so that you are calling it as subnetwork, okay? So that is public subnet. No. I didn't got any clarification. So how can I still differentiate this public and private? Yes. If you observe yesterday, we have created one diagram, right? So in the same diagram, we'll go and we'll implement the same thing, okay? Private and public. Now, if you see, I have this server. This server I will call it as a web server because it is in my public subnet. Now here, I'll call it as public subnet. I'll call it as public subnet. Now what I'll do, I'll just expand the region. And also my VPC. So same thing, one more subnet I'll create here. One more subnet I'll create here. Duplicate. So here I'm going to keep. So this is my private subnet. This will be, this CIDR will be a 2. Now you're taking another network. Inside the one network, you're taking two different networks again. So I'll be having the same kind of availability zone here also, right? Yeah. And I'm going to keep a server here. So these two will not communicate. This can be communicated over your internal Amazon connectivity at your availability zones. But at outside, if these two servers are holding any workload, those will not be connected. Those will not be connected. Now I'm using public subnet and the private. You can see. So this is my web server I'm calling, and this is my private server. So this web server will be having one public IP that can be accessed. And this private subnet also holding one server. So this is cannot be accessed over web. Any way you can try, you cannot able to connect until your request coming through the web server. So let me make you clear. So this is very, very important structure. So here, whatever the servers. So here we are going to keep backend servers. Okay, like in application, there will be a front end and back end, right? Backend services, if you are deploying, those servers are handling a separate servers, then you are going to keep in the private subnet. And private server for private data processing, batch processing, if you are handling that. Or DB, database servers are in the private subnet. So this is completely secured. No one cannot reach to this area. So this is completely secure. Why? Because all the servers which are having here, so they are in private network, completely in the private network. So how can I am distinguishing that this is a public and this is a private. Looking similar, just simple thing. If you see here, let me take a pen. Here, internet gateway is there. This is one of the key component, right? Whatever the request from the websites, like web browsers, are coming from the internet gateway only. So this will come like this, right? So whenever you're seeing, so this internet gateway is attached to the one of the route table, and this route table is attached to your subnet, then this subnet called as public subnet. The route table which is attached commonly to your subnet and internet gateway, so then the subnet can be called as public subnet. The another subnet which you are seeing, it is not get connected directly with the internet gateway, it is private subnet. Then how come the public access and the private access is differentiated? So that is also one thing. Okay, let's take a one application example. Okay, before that I'll tell you one network connectivity. So after that you will understand the application connectivity. So if I would like to access this server, whatever workload here it is running, or even if it is a database. So if it is need to be accessed on the web, so I need to use one outbound connectivity. Internet gateway is inbound connectivity, right? So I would like to use outbound connectivity. See here, you need to create one more route table. So this route table can be called as custom route table, CRT. custom route table, and this is main route table. So this route table will be created when you are creating your VPC. When you're creating your VPC, automatically one route table will be created, that is main route table. And you need to create one more route table. And I need to also create a component called NAT gateway. A component called NAT gateway. So this NAT gateway will be connected with my public subnet, and also it is going to be connected with my route table, and this route table will be connected with my private subnet. So this is a connectivity. So there will be again security group. That security group will connect to your EC2 instance. How does this architecture exactly works? Let's discuss. Okay. Now here my application is running. Here my application is running, and there is a UI. Okay, like Apache, Nginx we are running, and also business logic we are running. So those should be in the web servers only. You can take any project for the cloud, those should be over the web servers only. Yeah, you have allowed certain port numbers and protocols, and the user is your customer, is running something www.something.com. Then the DNS resolve query and it hit it to your internet gateway and is coming to your route table, and it is forwarding to your web server. Yes. So there you are doing some login or signing up, or you are registering something data. Okay. You are registering something data. Then where is a DB? So it is not allowed that in single server. In the last class, what we have done, we are keeping one UI like web service and also business application, PHP code and database in single server, right? So this is not at all recommended. For our classes, it can be, but in the real time, it is not recommended at all. For test purpose or a POC purpose, this kind of implementations you can see. But at the production level, or it might be a staging level or a development level, so this is not at all recommended. Zero. Why? See, if this server is memory, or if this server running out of CPU, then my application also down and my database also down. If I'm keeping database outside and this server is something got wrong, then I can take a snapshot and create one more server. So this is very easy, and I can connect the server to my database. So all your customer data will be stored in the DB only, right? So that is importance of the DB. DB is very, very important. In coming classes, we are going to see the importance of the DB, configurations, query runnings, how exactly application works, everything. Don't worry right now. We're just going in a step-by-step sequence. So this is DB. Okay, DB is always important. See, there are two types of applications you can see in the market. If DB is up and ready, only the application can be visualized. If DB is not connected even, there are some functionality can be loaded over the UI. But the dynamic action or a routing will be not happen. So these kind of things you can see. DB is very, very important database. Whatever you're doing, whatever the dynamic actions are going over here, so that is going to be registered in the DB. If you're writing some good backend, front end and back end, okay, whatever the data it is needed according to your logic, then it has to pull from your DB. So this is going to see, we'll understand that. But now, according to the cloud side architecture, so how can I make it this two-tier architecture? So there are two tiers. I'll be right. I'm defining two tiers.
1525. Okay, bro. Night shift.
Right? Please, Rehman, are you speaking something?
Nothing, nothing.
Yeah. Okay. See what I'm telling. So I would like to keep web service and business application in one and database separately, or a private server separately, or a backend server separately. So that this is one tier and this is one tier. Okay, fine. So here, let's say there's a private server. So there, let's say here it is a public server. Now here my application is running. Here my application is running. Something like you are doing a login or a sign up for a registration, where your username and email, your passwords, or everything is going to store ultimately into your database, where ultimately it is going to be stored in your database. Then how this connectivity can be happened? So this is in different network, you can see, and this is in the different network. Now the request has to pass like this, and also the reply has to come like this. Okay, so what is trying to look when this subnet is having a web server and are running an application, what developer will do? What developer will do? Developer inside their code, there will be a file called like a config file. So in that config file, they'll provide the database string, endpoint string. Like in last class we have seen, right? There will be endpoint, MySQL-H endpoint should be provided. So that endpoint with certain DB name and the username and the password, they're going to be updated in the code. But when application is performing here, so it has to reach to this DB, right? How the network connectivity should go? It has to go like this. And whatever the data here, if it is need to be shown here, then it has to pull here. This is the behind connectivity. And behind connectivity, developers will only write down and they will just say, hey, it is working at my local, because from the local they also connect to the same DB. See, let's say here it is a laptop. Here it is a laptop. So developers are going to run with a local host. They're going to run application with local host, just UI, but DB is going to connect the same. So there'll be one type of connectivity I'll tell you in coming classes. Okay, so you can connect directly to this laptop. See, if the developer is doing work from home or whatever, just connecting with a VPN, he can able to connect to this DB. It is very simple. So he can able to load. But this specific code, when deployed over this server, it should work properly. Here, this application need to connect to. Okay, so this is very, very important. Very, very important, I'm telling you. So here the same thing with your Kubernetes cluster, while you're creating cluster, node pool groups, and that is also going to be access your RTS. So this is very, very important. This is just a basic that we are discussing right now. Okay, more layman terms. You are running your internet banking application here, and you have logged in, and you have some money value, let's say, and that is at your DB, and whatever the data it has to be there, it has to be shown here. So that is going to be work with this way. This is NAT gateway. What it is? NAT gateway. What does mean by a NAT gateway? NAT gateway means network address translation. Network address translation. See, actually in the networking terms, NAT is in three types. One to one, one to many, many to one, many to one, sorry. So here it is working like one to many. Let's say when you are creating this NAT gateway, what is the advantage of the NAT gateway? First thing. Okay. What is the advantage of the NAT gateway? NAT, network address translation. So there will be a one public IP. So let's say 12.3.4.5. This is a public IP. So this is having internet access. And I have set up like 192, 168 and 1.0 slash 1.0 slash 28, let's say. Okay. I have some set of IP addresses here. Let's say an example I'm taking 14. Okay. And this is single IP address. It is having internet feature. So these are set of IP addresses which my computers are having or the servers are having, but these also need an internet access. So I cannot afford 14 IP addresses. I cannot afford 14 public IP addresses to buy, but I have one single IP address. Can't I do, or can't I, yeah. So can't I translate the same feature which is my public IP is having to the private IPs? This process called NAT process. That you are just converting internet features, whatever your public IP is having, that you are leveraging to use of this 14 IPs. That process called NAT process. One to many. The same thing happening here also. Same thing happening here also. Okay. If you see, when you create, it will be a one IP. One IP. So this single IP is serving internet features to your all IPs in this network. If you're tagging in this network, all these IPs, 254 IPs can be leverage this single IP to get accessed. Nothing but outbounding. Nothing but outbounding to your network. To your network. So this is architecture, public and private. So this is asked in some of interviews in UK. This is also asked in hackathon. Also, so there are certain interview types in USA. So there'll be a one invigilator coming inside, and he's just giving an IAM access to the AWS cloud, and they'll just show one question. We have to create this. Whatever the naming convention they are giving, we have to create this. If you are attending a startup company's interview, they simply ask you to draw this. Hey, how do you provision two-tier architecture? How? So in moving forward here, a lot of elements are going to add in this architecture. Yes, if I want to go with high availability concept, how can I integrate the load balancer? How can I go with the backend load balancer? How can I go with the load balancer side? Sorry, database side load balancer. All these are matter. We are just at the starting point. Okay. So this is very, very important that we need to understand how the infrastructure can be worked, especially at the network point of view. So if you're all clear, can I go and create this infra? I just would like to show you first the network connectivity, then we can uh, set up one application in one class. Slide. Is everyone clear on this diagram?
In this, you will create manual, and yesterday you create VPC and more. Now you will click on VPC and create the public and private subnet manually.
Manually you.
Now you have to click. You will click only on VPC. The two options are there, na? When you create VPC.
Okay. Now if you see, let me go to the cloud. MFA. VPC. So default VPC is there. Let me create a VPC. Now VPC only according to my diagram. So let me give, it is a demo VPC. And the IP address is 10.10.1. Sorry, not 1, 0.0, 0.0/16. Okay. So tenancy will be default always to get your VPC flexible. Now VPC only created, only VPC is created. Okay. If you see here, subnets are 0, but route table is created automatically. As I said, whenever you create one VPC, automatically there will be a main route table will create. Okay, now let me come to subnets. Here all are default subnets. Now I would like to create two subnets. One is public subnet, one is private subnet. Okay, under which network I would like to create? Under my demo VPC, right? So this is the IP address. What is the name of the subnet? Let's say PubSub. I'm just simply calling public subnet PubSub. Availability zone. Now on which availability zone you would like to create this subnet, develop this subnet. Let's say I would like to select 1A. And what is the subnet CIDR? Okay, so this is VPC CIDR. Now subnet CIDR 10.10.1.0/24. You can take 256 IPs are there, and you can give a tag name PubSub. Okay, this tags also very important while you are over the infrastructure provisioning automation. Okay, and in some of Kubernetes networking also, while you're connecting outbound accessing, in that cases also these tags are very important, because if one resource wants to identify other resource, sometimes tags are needed. Okay, whatever the tags you are applying here, that should be meaningful names. Automatically your default name will be taken as one tag. Let it be right now, and create subnet. Yes, one subnet is created. Let me create my another subnet under same VPC and private. Let me give like this PRV sub availability zones. Let me take now 1B. Okay, and this is 10.10.2.0/24/24. Yeah, create subnet. Now two subnets are created. You can see. Let me come to the route table. I have my main route table, but there are no names. How can I find which is the default route table and which is main route table? Here you can see demo is highlighted. Your VPC demo is highlighted. This one. Okay. So this one you can use it, and SMRT main route table. Now I would like to create one more route table. Create route table. Now I'm going to call it as CRT. Which VPC? My demo VPC, right? Let's create route table. Two route tables are created. One is MRT and one is CRT. Now let me come to the internet gateway. See, there's a default gateway is there. Now I would like to create one new internet gateway for my internet access. Create, give it here. I'll just call IZW. Create internet gateway. That's it. It is created, but it is not attached. You can see. It is not attached. So it is clearly telling that attach VPC because the following internet gateway was created RGWID. So you can now attach VPC to enable VPC to communicate with internet. So we need to create that. So let me click on attach, and here you need to select your VPC. Select this, attach internet gateway. Now it is attached. Okay. What as of now, what are all we done? We have done this connectivity only. We have created this one, we have created this one, we have created this one, and we have created this one, and this one. So this connectivity we not done, this connectivity we not done, this connectivity we not done, and this one also we not done, and this one also we not done. Okay.
Can you write the high level steps, sir, once so it will be easy to us to.
Sorry.
Can you write the high level steps? That VPC, create subnet, and the process.
Your voice is not clear to me, Satish. What high level steps
How
for
high?
what?
Can you write the steps, sir? I mean, the total, how we will do the process, how we will do the lab. The steps will be there now, sir. Create VPC, create subnets, and create IGW.
Yeah, that is you can find in the notes, already there in the notes.
Okay, okay. I mean,
Okay.
if you write here, it will be easy to us now, sir.
See,
So,
first thing is,
ah,
first, when I'm going with the numbering, okay?
okay,
First,
okay,
second,
okay.
third,
Yes.
okay?
So the process
Uh,
it will be easy for us
fourth,
to identify.
yes, fifth, sixth,
Okay.
and now you have to go to the disconnectivity. So
Oh,
this is 7,
okay.
and this is 8, this is 9, this is 10, okay? So this is 11,
That is
this is
natural.
12, yes, and 13, and 14. So this many you have to do manually.
Okay.
So that's why manual thing is little bit confused.
Mhm.
AWS is given you an automation like yesterday.
Okay.
So you'll not get confused all these things. All these things will just go with in one go.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Yeah. Now what I have done, I have to give this connectivities. Now let me go one by one. I have not yet created NAT gateway. Need to remember this one. Okay. Now, so let me go. First thing first, I'll go to route tables. I'll go to main route table. And here you can find routes. Go to the routes, edit routes. Here you can see this is local IP address. Add route. Okay. Here I need to add first thing internet gateway. That is anywhere. Add this. Target. It should be internet gateway. You can see. And if you click on, automatically it will suggest you. Save it. First thing. Now I need to go to the second option, which is subnet association. Okay. So here you need to go subnet association. There is no subnet is not associated. You need to click on edit subnet association. See here it is giving two things. If you want to make public as a public, then you have to select this. If you're not getting this, it is a private. Okay. So this one, save association. Okay. Yeah. Now it is connected. What I have did this one, this one, this one. Okay. Now I need to do this part. So I'll create an NAT gateway and then I'll attach this one and this one. First I just go
Sir,
to
one
route
doubt,
table.
sir. What is the purpose of subnet association, sir?
It is not connected right here.
Okay.
Manually you have to attach. Attaching term you call association.
Okay.
So now I'll go to CRT. Now here I'll go to subnet association. See, route table is main responsibility to forward your request to destination. Where is your destination? Your server. Where the server? In availability zone. Where the availability zone? Inside the subnet. Right. So if a request coming through a route table, then it has to attach with the subnet, right?
Okay.
Now edit subnet. Here it is private. Save it. Now one thing, I need to create a NAT gateway. If you see in the left side, there is a term called NAT gateway here. See, NAT gateway. So this one we need to click on. I'll just take into a new tab. Right now there are no NAT gateways. So let me go and create one NAT gateway. I'll just call it as NAT only. For which subnet? For my and connectivity type, public, private. Do you like to be connect this privately? So you can say private NAT gateway traffic cannot reach to the internet. If you're not reaching, then what is the purpose? No, right? Take it. And elastic IP allocation. When you click on this, automatically it will allocate one public IP. It is allocated. This is the public IP. Okay. And just go and create a NAT gateway. Okay, fine. So it is pending. Let it be provisioned. Now it is available. Let me go to my route table, CRD, routes, edit routes, select NAT gateway, your, oh, not internet gateway, NAT gateway, your NAT. Save it. Now what I need to do, I have completed all things. I have to create two EC2 instances into two different subnets. Launch instance. So here, let me call it as web. You can take Amazon Linux, T2 Micro, EMR TechOps. Then here you need to select your VPC. So here, when you're selecting, it is giving you two options. Do you want to be this instance in public or private? Make it into the public. Auto assigning, if your application wants to be exposed, then you have to make it one public IP. And firewall security is create a new one. This is pub, I'm going to say, or you can just say demo also. You can utilize same one at two subnets. And I'll just go and keep the all traffic anywhere. 8 GB, GP3, number of instance 1, launch instance. Make it as view all. It is running. Now I would like to launch one more. Now call it as private server. Amazon Linux, T2 Micro, Thematic Ops. Now your VPC, and here it is private. Now I don't want to be this completely. I want to be keep it in a private. I'm disabling it. Okay. I'm going to use existing security group only. Okay. And 8 GB, GP3, number of instances 1, launch instance. View all instances. If you see, two instances are running. Let's see the difference. When you click on web and connect SS client, you have something here. Okay, you have something here. So let me copy and open my terminal from my download section. So it will be get connected. You can see it is connected, right? And if I do the same thing with my private server, does it able to connect? So let me open new tab. I'm going to call it as, I'll just call it as public server or a web server. Okay. And here I would like to call. Now what I'll do, I'll just go here, instances. I'll come to private server and I'll connect. Here you can see you got same thing, but what is the difference? If you go here, instances, you can see there is no public IP, only private IP. What is the private IP range? 10, 10, 2 after 84. See, subnet IP address 10.10.2.0/24. In 254 IP address, one of the IP is given. Who is given? VPC DHCP set given. It is randomly given IP address. If you take a web one, you can see 10.10.1.255. 10.10.1.255, the last one. Sorry, not last one, 25, right? Okay, 25, 225. So this is given by the subnet only, VPC DHCP set. See 10.10.1, that means see this is in one subnet, and 10.10.2 dot something in 84 means that is in another subnet. Right. Now when I do connect with my web, it is able to connect, but now does it able to connect? Because 10.10.2.84, there is no public IP. Here you can see it is a public IP. This one is a public IP. And here it is no public IP. If you give this, it will connect. No, it will not connect because it is a private IP.
Not connect. Not connect.
It will not. Whatever you do, anything you try, no chance. It will not connect. But any solution do I have to connect? If it is a private, yes, open VPN.
We have to
VPN
log into
server.
public, and from public we have to connect to private.
Sorry.
From public server we have to connect to private server now, sir.
Yes. So until and unless your presence is not at the public server, we cannot able to connect to the private server. But without connecting over, now I have a laptop for an example. The same thing I would like to do it without going into the public. Do I have an option? I need to make my own VPN setup. My own VPN setup I have. If let's say you're working as a cloud engineer for one of your startup company, and you have been tasked as that the engineers who are working and they would like to connect to the private servers, but they should not use any public server to be login, and then it is something like bastion host.
Yes,
I'll tell you what is bastion host also. Yeah, it is something like bastion host company. But I don't want a bastion host. Can't I eliminate the bastion host? Can't I directly connect? Yes, you can connect by doing your own VPN server setup. We'll see in the coming class. Okay, don't worry. I'll just show you how we can set up our own VPN, and then we can connect to a private server. But as of now, to understand, so we have to get connect through the public one. So
By
public
using
one.
NAT we'll do now, sir, no?
Hmm?
By using NAT we'll connect now, sir.
So how do you want to connect now? By using NAT. No, if you're keeping NAT IP address here, you're not able to connect. That is not your IP of your server.
Okay.
That is something else, transferring the features.
Okay.
Now you are here. Tell me one thing. This web server in one subnet and my private server is in another subnet. I would like to check the connectivity. How can I? Anyone?
By using ping.
Command.
Ping command.
Yeah. Ping, I'll say, and I'll be.
Ping the IP address of the private server.
Yes. So I'm able to receive some replies. Will I able to log in to that server? Let me try. So there is a command SSH, okay, -I, and there should be some key pair, the key pair which we are using. But here I need to update that key pair. Okay. So key pair is whatever the key pair I have used. VI at the cloud. What key pair I have used? I have used this key pair. .pem. I need to update that. Okay. So let me open my key pair over the downloads. Okay. So this is my key pair. So Control A, Control C, come, paste. Escape, Shift:, W, exclamation mark. You need to give some permission to this one. Now, SSH -I DemoTechOps. What is the username of another server? EC2 server? EC2 -user @ the IP address of another server. Now, if you see in the left side, this is 225. That is your public server. Now you are at 84. It is asking yes. Now we have switched to the 84. Now we have switched to the 84. See, there is, if your workload is running here, for an example, so that is not getting accessed from internet. If you are searching this IP address in the web, the incoming will not happen. But from here, outgoing can be happen. That is what I mean. Outgoing can be happen. How can I just ping? What does this IP address? Anyone can tell me? We have discussed this.
DNS.
Yes, global DNS.
Global DNS.
Let me check it out. Ping www.google.com. If Amazon is restricted that, oh, not getting any responses, that means it is not having proper connectivity. So where it is missing, somewhere some mistake happened. Let me go one by one. The route tables, CRT, routes. Oh, there is no NAT is using. Let me go edit route, add route, and
NAT gate.
which route table it is? Wait a minute. It has to be the CRT. Okay, CRT, routes, edit routes, add. Now go select your NAT and do this, then save it. So this was already existed. That means I have given in the main RT. So that is not the good practice. Edit routes. Here it is internet gateway only. Fine. Then if I come to CRT in the routes, edit routes. NAT gateway. Your NAT, it is asking. There was an error editing routes. All changes has been reverted. Created route. The route already exists. Let's try. /24. Oh, now it is showing two routes. One NAT is already there.
Hello? This
Yes.
public server is in this one, main route table, right?
Yes.
But if it is in main route table, then why are you changing in the custom route table? Because custom route table is associated with the private, private server, right?
Yes. So in which route table I need to do? In the private route table only we have to forward that with the NAT gateway. If you see the diagram.
Yes, but But NAT gateway is not connected to public server.
It is not connected. That's what we are attaching now, this one. So that's why it is telling the route already existed. This change I'm doing. If you
Okay.
see here, we have two routes.
Uh-huh.
Let's come with the,
Yes.
now it is a local, which is custom route table. Now add route table,
Yes.
adding
Mhm.
NAT gateway, and you are adding now save changes. Now the NAT has been
Yes.
added to your CRT, custom route table. The thing is,
Yes. So
this
now
has to be,
you should go and you should go and check for this www.google.com in the private server.
yes, that I'm in the private server,
You are in
and
the
it is
public.
getting
You are in the
stuck.
public server.
No,
You are
public
in the
server is
public.
225. Private server is
Oh,
84.
okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it is got stuck. That's what
Yes. So why
let
why
me.
then you need to check in the public server first whether it is pinging to google.com or not.
So now I am in the public server, right? Okay. If you
Yes.
see 225. You are getting replies, right?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
you are switching to the private server.
Private.
The same thing I would like to check the outbound. It is
Yes.
not pinging. So outgoing is
Do you
not.
go do you need to
Yes,
go
we
and change
need
in
to
the
allow.
security group
Exactly.
outbound
Exactly. We
rules?
need to allow a port number in the security group. Let's go to the security group. Here is the security group.
All traffic.
All traffic is already there. So even you can apply like this.
All things.
Just no, select as a custom TCP and put it as 0265513 and anyway, save the changes. Okay, ICMP is not particularly not accessing. So it is in the inbound, in the outbound, add rule 65,536, sorry, 35, broadcasting. Anyway, save. Come to the inbound, edit, check ICMP, ICMP IPv4, anywhere,
Can you go to the route table of this one, this this private subnet?
here you can see CRT
Yes. Yes.
and Private subnet is also already associated with 10.10.2.24, and routes is a NAT is associated and local VPC also associated.
Okay.
Let me check with the
Do
security
we need to associate a route table with NAT gateway?
Yes, it is already associated. You can see
Okay.
the NAT. Outgoing request is not properly exit from here. So if you understand from the diagram point of view, what I'm trying to do. So this is my server. I'm pinging. Here I have allowed the all traffic, even TCP port numbers, even ICM. And this is exit like this. So outbound has to be happen from the NAT, right? So this outbound is not happening. What a strange thing. It has to work. Let me go one more time to the security groups. Let me remove all port numbers and protocols are allowed. TCP, ACMP. Let me set it up one more time. Anyway, save. So for a test case, you can do one thing. So let's eliminate the NAT here. What I'm doing, let's eliminate the NAT here. I'm just eliminating this part, and this route table I'm going to connect to this one. Okay. Route table, CRT, routes, edit routes. Now I'm going to remove the NAT, say, and add 00 internet gateway, and here I'm giving it. Okay. Now let me come. Nope, not happening. Strange.
10.10.2.0.
Yes,
2.0 should be in the route table.
it is the route table already. So that is working for the VPC. Route table always works for
Okay.
VPC and the subnets. So inside the VPC, how many you create, and that's why we specially associated with this route table to work on this.
Okay.
All TCP is already allowed. So it is trying to pass with the trace route. Yes, it is hiding. Simply, it is hiding the network.
So what does this trace route mean?
No, the trace route is the number of hops network devices are connected. So it will show their IP addresses. Now what Google is trying to do, Google is hiding this one, but when you ping from the public, it is directly printing the public IP address. Say one thing, ping www dot any webs popular. Netflix also hiding their ping response. .com. So it is the public IP is listed here already. So let me parallelly log in to the public server, or I just do it from my local laptop. Am I getting ping responses? Yes, I'm getting the ping responses. When I do it for Google trace route, it will be a trace RT in the Windows. It is giving the IP addresses, you can see. So that is actually hiding here from the private. Let me do a quick search. No, this is not the case. When I last time see it, it should give you a ping response. Why?
Can I say you
Yes,
have not associated a public IP with the NAT gateway?
okay, if that is the case.
Elastic IP. I may be wrong, but that is just one my suggestion.
Okay, if it is, that is the case. Now we are at the here, NAT gateway. Open. Here is an IP address.
Okay. The clear is there.
Yeah. So there might be a new things, might security things are implemented over the AWS
Yes.
that shouldn't give because nowadays AWS is developing more features in terms of security. Let's search the news. When I seen this last 2 months back, this is the not case. Uh, why a ping not happening from private server, which is in private subnet, even after attached with that gateway. So if a server firewall enable ICMP traffic, then it should check the network security group and NSCL. Obviously, we're not integrated, means implemented any NSCL here. Private and public subnet NAT gateway. Verify the route table configuration and set the traffic destination for the internet router NAT gateway, curl or duplicate. Let's see any duplicate. Let me go to any website and just try to.
Wget syntax you have given wrong. In
Yeah.
spelling, sorry.
Yep. Just. Clearly, it is not connecting outside. No. Well, www.com. No result. Outbound rule, all traffic. Inbound rule, all traffic. Something is missing out. NAT gateway, was it is public? This private subnet is associated clearly. Let me do one thing. Let's quickly delete the NAT. Let's do a try. Create one more NAT. NAT-1. Now, quick thing that we have to attach NAT gateway and public subnet, and then we need to forward to the route gateway. So last time, I didn't remember exactly. If I did attached over the private subnet, then this is not the out case. This should be an out case. Let's see. So I'm going to attach to my public subnet, public, allocate elastic IP. 15 is the public IP, and just create NAT gateway. Just hang up with me for this NAT to be getting created. Now it is available. The IP address also there. Let me quickly go to route table and CRT. Oh, I'll just remove configuration. It is not there. Okay, so here it is. Internet gateway is there. Fine. I'll just go routes here also. Just NAT is there, right? Internet gateway is configured. So I just remove this one and add the NAT of this NAT1. Save changes. Let me quickly come here. You are in 84. P. Now it is getting. Yes. I think I have did that mistake only. So which is I mounted NAT over the private. This should be a not case. Always your NAT should be mounted on public and you need to forward this association to the route table. So this is the way. So while I'm creating the NAT, I have created based on the private, means the base will be the private I have selected. I think that is the blender mistake you do. Whenever you create NAT, always that should be on the public. So this is the connectivity right here. That's why arrow came. If you see here, now you're getting replaced to the Google. Now you can ping to the Google. You're getting now. See. Are you clear what I'm telling you right now? And what was a mistake we did?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir, you go.
Yep. So this will comes with the troubleshoot only. When you look into the each component, then you'll get to know. If you directly look at the Google, even any one document is not telling you the same thing, that the NAT is should be on the public subnet. If you refer even Amazon.com documentation, that will be not mentioned anywhere. Okay. Unsupported, IP address quota, NAT gateway quota, something. But this is something very basic. We need to
One
know.
question.
Yeah.
If you kept that NAT gateway in the private subnet, then how come you could be able to associate an elastic IP address that is a public IP address, right? Or
Yes,
uh,
that is public. But the main motto of NAT is what? From the public to private, internet feature distribution, right? And you're just directly mounting over the private, so which is not even following the Amazon standards. So that is the why it is not able to route the traffic properly to the, let me here. It will be very clear. Let's say now you're creating this one here in the private. You're getting one IP. Okay. And so this you're directly connecting here. And this will be connected here. So your request will be exit like this only, right? Outside. Then what is the difference of this public subnet and this subnet? This also you can kind of call it as public subnet only, right? Am I right?
yes,
You're getting my question?
yes,
This can also called as public. There's no difference. Instead of internet gateway, you're just calling it as NAT gateway. No. Here there will be no IP, but here is a one IP. But connecting directly to this, so that incoming will be accessed. Incoming can be accessed. This is not the case. So that's why it is not allowing us to be outbounded. It's a clear picture to us. Now, when you created NAT over this one, and now it is going outbound. Okay. If you see the official page of the AWS on the same concept, the diagram will not this much easy. Let me show you. AWS VPC, public and private subnet. Images. Diagrams. VPC server with private subnet. Private subnet. Here some elements he has added. Where is another logical diagram? He just added simply, you can see. This is refers to the internet gateway. Now, how do you understand the connectivity properly? At the organizations, the diagrams are not like this. It will be a very clear picture like this. Whatever your architecture is going to create, so that will have everything is listed, everything is written with numbering also. So this is we need to learn. So you might be also going to be suggest a solution. You have to do like this. So with this only the connectivities, how an infra is behaving, how the workflow is going on, how the network is connected, everything will get it from the diagram only. And at the documentation, diagrams plays very key role. If somebody is already working, then they must know this, the importance of this. And they also get a clear picture. So if you all okay, then I'll go for deletion process. Okay, so we can do the same thing in our coming class. This private server we can replace as RDS server, and here we really keep the one web application, and we'll try to import the data into this by the same connectivity. Now we are just checking the connectivity with the servers, right? We'll check we'll do the same thing with application.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll just go and quickly terminate these two servers. And also, where is my NAT? Also quickly delete the NAT. Once you delete NAT, and once all instances terminated, there will be a network interface cards. Those will be removed. If those not removed, your VPC cannot be deleted. If you see, delete VPC, it is telling you, see, instances are using some network interface cards, ENI. So until unless it is not deleted completely, you cannot able to delete the VPC. So you have to wait for a couple of minutes.
You have to manually delete the NIC card, sir, or automatically they will.
Now everything is associated, then it will be removed. Whatever it is attached to be removed, so it will be
If you
removed.
terminate the instances directly, they will also remove.
Your voice is too long, I can hear this.
If you terminate the instances, the NIC cards also directly will remove, sir.
NIC cards, yes, automatically it will.
Achha, sir, okay.
What is a NIC, by the way?
NSC, the network interface card.
Yeah. What is the use
Internet
of that? Basically, exactly. It is a loop back or a local
back.
host we call. So
Yes.
whatever the server, laptop, anything that you're seeing, that is, it is nothing but 127 IP address. Okay.
Yes, 127.
0.0.0.0.
Yes.
go. Okay. So what are all deleting? CRT, main, subnets, and everything is deleting it. That's it. Deleted. Now you're clean. Okay. So please do this practice. If you're facing any issues, just take a picture and send it over the Slack or send it over the WhatsApp. So just try communicating over the Slack here. You have a channel called Multi-Cloud DevOps MLOps. Here you can communicate. Okay. Okay, guys. So it's already today. It is just 11. So please do your practice and just let me know if you're facing any issue.
Okay, sir. Thanks.